Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to our match reaction show. It's finished. Monza 1, Juventus nil. Another defeat for Juventus. In fact, it's their first defeat in Serie A this season, but they did lose in midweek as well. So it's a lot and a lot of pressure at the moment on Juventus. And tell you what, you can probably do a sort of a poll here, a sort of an over-under betting plus sort of thing that you can think about who's going to be the first one to be sacked. Is it going to be Brendan Rodgers, Nagelsmann, or Allegri? Who's the first one who's going to go? That was a really bad performance. I mean, even accounting for the fact of the red card, the fact it looks so toothless. Juventus just looks so devoid of ideas, so devoid of inspiration. I think that is what will hurt Juventus fans more, and what will hurt the people, the execs that are watching. That's what's going to hurt them more, and it's just I don't know. I don't know where they go from here. They're no longer in a title race if they ever were. But the real issue now is that they have a fight on their hands to finish in top four. They finished fourth in the last two seasons. They somehow managed to scrape through. This season is going to be tough. It's going to be tough for them to finish in that top four positions. And Allegri will say that I'm missing Chiesa, I'm missing Pogba. Di Maria got sent off. There's a lot of mitigating circumstances, but the reality is that's not how football works. You don't get that amount of time. He's got a lot of time because of his past achievements, but he's not going to get a lot more time, particularly with performances like these. And I mean, the red card for Di Maria, it's brainless, it's senseless. It's something that Maria has or Di Maria has in his locker. I mean, it's one of those things. I remember a few years ago when they were playing PSG were playing Manchester City in the Champions League semi-final, and he got sent off in that because he got frustrated. I think that's what happens with him. Often he just gets frustrated, he gets riled up, and then he does something stupid, something that doesn't need to be done. This was needless. He was playing the ball around, a little bit of a check from the defender. You got to write it out. You got to be smart, and you got to write it out. Instead, he just goes with an elbow because he thinks that because that's the way he is. He's a fiery character, and while you don't want to lose that fire, sometimes you got to temper it, and I think they did it. And he gets sent off. It changed the complexion of the game because I think Juventus had a couple of good chances, even down to 10 men. There had a couple of good chances. So imagine they had a player on the field up to 11. They probably could have scraped out a win there. Would have been pretty. They probably would have got a win out of that. But beyond that, it's not an excuse. The reality is, we saw Milan go down to 10 men a couple of weeks ago in Sampdoria, and they still came back and won that game. I think it was last week actually. They came back and won that game. So it can happen. You can go down to 10 men and you can still win games. I just think Juventus, where they are right now, they're in such a bad place right now. I think sometimes you get in those mindsets where everything seems against you, and it just feels like they're in that moment. And then you kind of go, well, no, I'm going to fight this, or you go, well, we'll just fight. We'll just put the heads down, let all go, or let all just pass through, and then we'll come back out of it the other side. I think that's what Juventus gone. They've gone. Just let it happen. Let's let it happen. I don't think it works that way. You can't really, let things happen. That is sometimes you got to fight it. And I think they're not doing that at the moment. And yet you wonder, right? Where will inspiration come from? Because I think that midfield looks so bad. Even with the fact that you've got not got Pogba, it still looks so bad. And McKennie, Paredes, Miretti, it's just not a midfield that's gonna get you anywhere. Forward line after Vlahovic has looked okay, but he's fighting alone. I mean, today you can't really judge his performance. So he's fighting a lone battle today. The two wingers had to kind of track back. The real issue was that they were down to 10 men, so there was going to be a lot more defending. So you can't really judge him, but he still had a couple of good moments. Kostic for me is good, but he seems like he's having some trouble making that step up from Frankfurt to Juventus. You've then got they were missing Cuadrado, so by the way, they don't have Chiesa either, and they had to basically rely on other players, right? And they had to rely today on Di Maria, and Di Maria got sent off. So it's a problem. It's a massive problem. And red cards are not helping. Milik is out. Cuadrado is out. Di Maria is now out. So they're losing players to injuries and losing them to suspension as well. Anyway, they've got a couple of weeks to regroup and to figure out what they want to do, because there's a lot of issues in that team at the moment. But then that goal, and there were warning signs, by the way. I thought what Monza did well. Oftentimes, what happens is when you go down to when your opposition goes down to 10 men, sometimes you kind of go, oh yeah, this is our game now. Let's go and attack. Let's go and attack. They didn't do that. They were very, very conservative. They knew what their strengths were. They tried to go beyond that. They did the right things well. They got the ball out wide whenever they could. They tried to attack the flanks because they knew that's where the space was going to be. And then they were trying to put in crosses. There was one before the goal. Actually, Gytkjaer put a wonderful ball that Mota should have scored, but he scuffed his shot. And that was the warning sign that Juventus should have hit it, but they didn't. And then Gytkjaer did that same thing again. He again goes for a cross on the right, and this time Gytkjaer heads it in, and it's 1-0. Again, this is things that can. And there was a bit of a deflection of Danilo, but that's you still shouldn't be allowing the cross to come in. And those are things that an organized defense understands, not one that's right now kind of feels like it's patched together. And that was one that after once all they did was like, okay, yeah, we're just gonna take this easy. We're gonna calm ourselves down. We're gonna see this game out. And we're not going to take too many risks. And the fact that it took up to the 82nd minute for Juventus to have a meaningful shot on target with Kean's header, I think that's telling as well. Now, yes, you're down to 10 men, so you're going to defend more, but still they had 30 or 30 odd minutes playing 11 against 11. And Monza, the bottom team in the league, you still expect them to create more than they did. Actually, even before they were down to 10 men, I thought Monza was slightly the better team. At the very least, they were both equal. It wasn't a case of Juventus overwhelming Monza at all. I thought they might have been the better team, Monza actually. And that kind of thing is unacceptable for a team like Juventus to go through that. So there's things there. And I know Allegri will point out the fact that I was sent off as well, so I wasn't actually managing on the Dutch time. But the reality is, these are things that you've got to work on. Now, they've got 2 weeks, and sometimes having a lot of time is a bad thing because it does mean that Juventus might just get touchy fingers and go, yeah, he's got to go. Because they've got Pochettino available as well. Keep in mind, Pochettino is available. They've got good managers as well. Thomas Tuchel is available as well. So you've got good managers that are available right now that you can bring in. So there's definitely going to be some itchy fingers there. And with having, when you have a lot of games, then sometimes you go, oh, well, we got games. Let's hold off. But right now, because they've got 2 weeks, they can reflect, they can take the time and go, well, do we want to stick with him? Do we want to, get somebody else in? So that's not so good news for Allegri either. But anyway, one to keep an eye on, of course, and to see what happens with that appointment. But yeah, it's trouble times. So Juventus, they're gonna have to figure out a way. They're not gonna have Pogba until next year, calendar year. They're not gonna have the Chiesa until next year. They're gonna have to figure out a way to deal with that because you can't just you can't write off seasons for Juventus. You can't do that. So they're gonna have to figure out how they're gonna work that. I think the system needs to look as well. I don't think the 4-3-3 works for Juventus. So they're gonna have to figure out a way to play a different style. Maybe a 4-4-2, maybe a 3-5-2, something else. They've got to try to change something because this is clearly not working. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about the game. What do you think about Juventus's performance today? What do you think needs to change? Do you think Allegri needs to go? Let me know in the comments, of course. And smash like for Monza, smash like for Gytkjaer for his goal. I thought they played well today. They were the better team. Even when they were 11 was 11, they were the better team. And after that, they were definitely the better team. So yeah, smash like for Monza, smash like for Gytkjaer. And of course, do remember to subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, of course. We've got a couple more videos to come. So when you get subscribed, you get notified, of course. And yeah, your support does help our channel grow as well. So please do support us. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye bye.